There you are. Our first story is Pinkalicious, Pinky Promise. And this is for Mia, and it's written by Victoria Kahn. Pinkalicious, Pinky Promise. I was making a picture for my teacher, Mr. Pushkin. I ran out of my favorite color. I asked my friend Allison if I could borrow her paints. Just don't use up all the pink, she said. I won't, I said. I promise. I worked very hard on the picture. It looked good. I gave the picture to Mr. Pushkin. What a terrific painting, he said. It's so pink. You mean it's pink-terrific, I said. Allison was coming over to get her paint set. Some of the colors were empty. Uh-oh, what was I going to do? I'm sorry, Allison, I said. By mistake, I used up all the pink. Allison frowned. You also used up all the red and the white, she said. Well, red and white make pink, so it's all pink, I said. Allison was angry. You said you wouldn't use up all the pink paint, said Allison. You promised. I'm really sorry, Allison, I said again. Allison took her paint set and walked away. Allison didn't sit with me at lunch. I sat alone. I ate my jelly sandwich. Jelly does not taste pink-a-yummy if you're eating it all by yourself. Then I thought of something. I went back to the classroom. I made Allison a card to apologize. This card is very blue, I said to Allison. There were no other colors. Almost everybody is out of pink. Thanks for the card, Allison said. It's not just beautiful, it's bluetiful. Allison, I asked, can we still be friends? Of course we're friends, Pinkalicious, Allison said. I'm sorry I got angry about the paint. I won't get so mad next time. I was so happy. Let's play this weekend, I said. When Allison came over to play, I had a surprise for her. I gave Allison a new tube of paint. It's not even my birthday, said Allison. And that's not all, I said. Guess what? We got ice cream. We shared a pink peppermint ice cream sundae with raspberry swirl syrup. The sundae had 2 cherries on top, so we could each have our own. Some things are just too hard to share. Let's always be friends, Allison said. Yes, that would be fantastic, I said. Let's make it a pinky promise, we said at the same time. Pinky promises last forever, I said happily. That's the end of this book. Did you enjoy that? I did. The next book was given to me by my friend Seth. And Seth was very generous, and he gave me lots of books to read to you. The first book we're going to read is The Wonky Donkey, and it's written by Craig Smith. The Wonky Donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Hee-haw! He only had 3 legs. He was a wonky donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Hee-haw! He only had 3 legs and 1 eye. He was a winky wonky donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Hee-haw! He only had 3 legs, 1 eye, and he liked to listen to country music. He was a honky-tonky, winky-wonky donkey. Yee-haw! I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Hee-haw! He only had 3 legs, 1 eye. He liked to listen to country music, and he was quite tall and slim. He was a lanky, honky-tonky, winky-wonky donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Hee-haw! He only had 3 legs, 1 eye. He liked to listen to country music. He was quite tall and slim, and he smelt really, really bad. He was a stinky, dinky, lanky, honky, tonky, winky, wonky donkey. Oh. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Hee-haw! He only had 3 legs, 1 eye. He liked to listen to country music. He was quite tall and slim, and he smelled really, really bad. And that morning he got up early and hadn't any coffee. He was a cranky, stinky, dinky, lanky, honky, tonky, winky, wonky donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Hee-haw! He only had 3 legs, 1 eye. He liked to listen to country music. He was quite tall and slim. He smelt really, really bad. And that morning he'd got up early and hadn't any coffee. He was always getting up to mischief. He was a hanky-panky, cranky, stinky, dinky, lanky, honky-tonky, winky, wonky donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Hee-haw! He only had 3 legs, 1 eye. He liked to listen to country music. He was quite tall and slim. He smelt really, really bad. And that morning he got up early and hadn't any coffee, and he was always getting up to mischief, but he was quite good looking. He was a spunky, hanky-panky, cranky, stinky, dinky, lanky, honky-tonky, winky, wonky donkey. I was walking down the road and I saw a donkey. Hee-haw! That was very funny, wasn't it? Oh. The next one we're going to do is for my friend Jasper. Now, Jasper's mom said that he really liked another book, but I couldn't find it yet, but I will. In the meantime, I have a book called Tickle, Tickle by Helen Oxenbury. Are you ready? Tickle, tickle, Helen Oxenbury. Squelch, squelch in the mud. Splish, splash, grub-a-dub. Gently, gently brush your hair. Tickle, tickle under there. The end. That's one of my favorites. We have another book that I'm dedicating to my friend Michael. And this one is called Daniel Goes to the Playground. Are you ready? Daniel Goes to the Playground. It was a beautiful day in the neighborhood, and Daniel and his family were at the playground with Prince Wednesday and Miss Elena. "Hi, neighbor," said Daniel. "Margaret and I are swinging. One day she'll be big enough to go on a big kid's swing like me. Right, Margaret?" "Dan, Dan," said baby Margaret as she watched Daniel. After swinging, Daniel and his friends decided to play circus. Daniel's mom and dad sat down nearby to watch this show with baby Margaret. First, Prince Wednesday swung on the flying trapeze. Next, Miss Elena walked the tightrope forward and backward. And it was Daniel's turn, and Daniel was going to juggle. And now, Daniel Tiger, the Gorific, will do his tiger-tastic juggling act, said Daniel proudly. Daniel threw 1, 2, 3 juggling balls up in the air. "Mom, Dad, look at me," Daniel exclaimed as he tried to catch the balls. But Daniel's mom and dad weren't looking at Daniel. They were helping Margaret. Daniel felt sad. Daniel walked over to his mom and dad. "You didn't see me juggling," he said. "I'm sorry, Daniel," said Mom Tiger. "Your sister needed us." "But I needed you too," said Daniel. "I needed you to watch me juggle." "I know it can be hard when we need to pay attention to Margaret," said Mom Tiger. "It is hard," said Daniel. "It feels different. Before Margaret, you used to watch me all the time." "That's true," said Mom. "It is different with Margaret around. But when a baby makes things different, find a way to make things fun." Daniel tried to think of a way that Margaret could make things more fun. He thought and he thought until Margaret toddled over to Daniel, rolling the juggling balls toward him. "That gives me an idea," Daniel exclaimed. "Baby Margaret can help me with my juggling act, and then everyone can watch both of us. That'll be lots of fun." "Ga ga ga ga," said Margaret. Presenting Daniel the Gorific and his sister, and juggling helper Margaret the Magnificent, announced Daniel. Daniel tossed a ball to Margaret, and Margaret rolled it back to him. They were juggling together, and this time everyone was watching. Playing circus on the playground was so much fun, Daniel made believe that he was performing in a real circus. "It's time for the circus parade," announced Miss Elena after Daniel and Margaret had finished their act. "Everyone line up." Daniel, Prince Wednesday, and Miss Elena all got in line. Margaret got in line too. No, Margaret, this parade is just for big kids," said Daniel. Daniel and his friends paraded around the swings and the sandbox, but everywhere they went, Margaret went too. "Mom," said Daniel, "I don't want Margaret to be in the parade. She's too little." Said Mom. "I wonder if we can make room for everyone in the parade, even little tigers." "That would be different," said Daniel. "It will be different, but when a baby makes things different, find a way to make things fun," Mom reminded Daniel. Daniel looked at Margaret, and she made a silly face. Daniel giggled. "Margaret, you're so silly." Just then, Daniel got another Gorific idea. "Maybe Margaret can be the clown in our parade. That would be different and fun," said Daniel. "Boo, boo, 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 boo," said Margaret. "Let the parade begin again," said Daniel happily, and they all paraded around the playground together. "I love playing at the playground today with Margaret," said Daniel. "Do you have a baby in your family? How do you feel when things are different?" "It's different for me with baby Margaret, but now I know that different can be fun." Ugga mugga. The end. I have another book that was given to me by Seth, and every time I say the title of this book, I giggle. Are you ready? Farley Farts by Bertie Mueller. Are you ready? I am. Farley Farts. This is from Seth, but I'm going to read it to Sadie, his little baby sister. For days, Farley the frog had been having some rather noisy tummy trouble. He had to fart all the time when he was eating When he was playing, poofed. Even when he was sleeping, poofed. It was really bothersome. Otherwise, Farley was very content. He loved his life in the small village of Crokeville and had lots of friends. His sister Frida thought it was funny when Farley's farts made bubbles in the pond. It was like a jacuzzi. But Mother Frog was worried. He needs to go to the doctor, she declared. The doctor examined Farley, saying, "Ah, and stick out your tongue," he said. But the only thing that came out of Farley was a very loud fart. Poofed! The doctor rolled his eyes and sputtered. "Nothing serious," he said, covering his nose. "Just a case of a little gas. It will pass." Unfortunately, it kept passing. Everywhere Farley went, farts followed him. When he was getting dressed, when he was washing up, in school, not 1 hour of the day passed without Farley farting. "What is 2 plus 2?" asked the teacher. "Poofed!" went Farley loudly. All the classmates giggled. Farley turned very pale. He was so embarrassed. The teacher turned pale too because he was so angry. "How rude!" he scolded. "You have to stop right now. I'm going to have to talk to your parents." Farley tried, but he couldn't stop farting. Poofed! Poofed! His parents felt sorry for him. "Really, Farley," said his mother, just as Farley made a loud poofed right under Grandma's nose. "Why don't you go to bed now and see if you can stop?" Look, poor Farley. Farley went to his room and tried as hard as he could to stop, but the longer he went without farting, the more his tummy hurt. It began to swell, and soon his pajamas didn't fit him anymore. The next morning, Farley felt very odd. He wasn't hungry or thirsty. His stomach had grown so big he could barely fit through that door. Outside, a tiny breeze lifted Farley like a hot air balloon. There was nothing he could do. He sailed off into the sky. "Farley, come back!" shouted Frida, but Farley drifted higher and higher. From way up high, the world below looked so beautiful. The houses, the fields, the hills on the horizon. Farley was enjoying himself, but down below his mother was crying and his father was calling to him, "Farley, come back, please." "I can't," said Farley, drifting even higher. Then Father Frog had a brilliant idea. "Fart, Farley, just as loud as you can." But Farley couldn't hear him. "What, Dad?" "Poofed!" everyone shouted. So Farley farted one giant foot. And then Farley flipped and fluttered and floated gently all the way down to the ground. Farley lay flat on his back, looking like an empty balloon. Mother, Father, and Frida rushed over. Croaking happily, they hugged Farley. That night, everyone ate Mother's specialty, bean soup. Later, the family snuggled together on the sofa. Father Frog stroked Farley's belly gently. Suddenly, poofed, someone farted. But this time it wasn't Farley. Wasn't that fun? I thought that was really, really fun. Okay, and I have one more book. This was my book when I was very little. It's The Tale of Tom Kitten by my favorite author, Beatrix Potter. Are you ready? The Tale of Tom Kitten by Beatrix Potter. Dedicated to all pickles, especially to those that get up under my garden wall. Once upon a time, there were 3 little kittens, and their names were Mittens, Tom Kitten, and Moppet. They had dear little fur coats of their own, and they tumbled about the doorstep and played in the dust. But one day their mother, Miss Tabitha Twitchit, expected friends to tea, so she fetched the kittens indoors to wash and dress them before the fine company arrived. First she scrubbed their faces. This one's Moppet. Then she brushed their fur. This one is Mittens. Then she combed their tails and whiskers. This is Tom Kitten. Tom is very naughty, and he scratched. Mrs. Tabitha dressed Moppet and Mittens in clean pinafores and tuckers, and then she took all sorts of elegant, uncomfortable clothes out of a chest of drawers in order to dress up her son Thomas. Tom Kitten was very fat, and he had grown several buttons burst off. His mother sewed them on again. When the 3 kittens were ready, Mrs. Tabitha unwisely turned them out into the garden to be out of the way while she made hot buttered toast. Now keep your frocks clean, children. You must walk on your hind legs. Keep away from the dirty ash pit, and from Sally Henny Penny, and from the pigsty and the puddle ducks. Moppet and Mittens walked down the garden path unsteadily. Presently they trode upon their pinafores and fell on their noses, and when they stood up there were several green smears. "Let us climb up the rockery and sit on the garden wall," said Moppet. They turned their pinafores back to front and went up with a skip and a jump. Moppet's white tucker fell down into the road. Tom Kitten was quite unable to jump when walking upon his hind legs in trousers. He came up on the rockery by degrees, breaking the ferns and shedding buttons right and left. He was all in pieces when he reached the top of the wall. Moppet and Mittens tried to pull him together. His hat fell off and the rest of his buttons burst. While they were in difficulties, there was a pit, pat, paddle pat, and the 3 puddle ducks came along the hard, high road, marching one behind the other and doing the goose step. Pit, pat, paddle pat, pit, pat, waddle pat. They stopped and stood in a row and stared up at the kittens. They had very small eyes and looked surprised. Then the 2 duck birds, Rebecca and Jemima Puddle Duck, picked up the hat and tucker and put them on. Mittens laughed so that she fell off the wall. Moppet and Tom descended after her. The pinafores and all the rest of Tom's clothes came off on the way down. "Come, Mr. Drake Puddle Duck," said Moppet. "Come and help us to dress him. Come and button up Tom." Mr. Drake Puddle Duck advanced in a slow, sideways manner and picked up the various articles. But he put them on himself. They fitted him even worse than Tom Kitten. "It's a very fine morning," said Mr. Drake Puddle Duck. And he and Jemima and Rebecca Puddle Duck set off up the road, keeping step. Pit, pat, paddle pat, pit, pat, waddle pat. Then Tabitha Twitchit came down the garden and found her kittens on the wall with no clothes on. She pulled them off the wall and smacked them gently and took them back to the house. "My friends will arrive in a minute, and you are not fit to be seen. I am affronted," said Mrs. Tabitha Twitchit. She sent them upstairs, and I am sorry to say she told her friends that they were in bed with the measles, which was not true. Quite the contrary. They were not in bed, not in the least. Somehow, they were very extraordinary noises overhead, which disturbed the dignity and repose of the tea party. And I think that someday I shall have to make another larger book to tell you more about Tom Kitten. There he is right there, see? As for the puddle ducks, they went into a pond. The clothes all came off directly because there were no buttons. Look. And Mr. Drake Puddle Duck and Jemima and Rebecca have been looking for them ever since. Well, that is all for today. But like I said, we'll keep reading stories until the library's open. So you have a very good day, and we'll see you soon at Storytime at the Cabin. Bye-bye. Mwah. This is my special friend Jack. I love him very much. And he's sad these days because he can't visit his friends the way he used to, and he can't hug them the way he used to. So I said, Jack, what you have to do is just close your eyes and think of your friends and imagine that you're giving them a great big hug and you're laughing and smiling. And then you know something, what we can do, Jack? Do you know what we can do? We can get one of these things. Ask your mommy or your daddy, what do you got? I have a roll. I have some bubbles. And what we can do is we can send them all our love.
The following program is brought to you by Rogers Anyplace TV. Enjoy exclusive content for free. Visit RogersAnyplaceTV.com.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
Hi, I'm Brenda O'Reilly, host of Scoff Off, a fun competitive cooking show with a Newfoundland twist. Each week I'm joined by two competitors and they square off with a secret basket of ingredients and 20 minutes on the clock. Join us for Scoff Off on Rogers Television, Sunday at 7 p.m.
If you only knew what I'm going through, I just can't smile without you.
Hi, I'm Kathy Hicks from Spirit of Newfoundland Productions. Our industry, like so many others, have been completely devastated by COVID-19, but here's what we know for sure. Science has proven that joy and happiness for human beings comes from being generous. We are hardwired for generosity. So now is more important than ever to be generous of your time, your energy, and any other resources to someone who needs it more. Stay safe from Spirit of Newfoundland Productions.
So today's a great day. We're just about done a roof install, and we're going to talk to the guys from Overhead Door about some new products. Rick, buddy, how you doing?
Good, Mike. Yourself?
Excellent, man.
Excellent. I just measured your garage door opening, and everything is perfect, 100%. Follows diagrams to the T. Makes for a good install. It should be only a couple hours. and we'll be completed.
Excellent. Let's do it. So Rick, tell us a little bit about the garage door we purchased from you guys.
Mike, this new garage door you're getting today, it's a high quality Garaga garage door. It's model Standard Plus R16, contemporary design with the windows on one side. Very beautiful door. Black, top of the line, best you can get. It's going to set this house right off. Great curb appeal.
So Rick, Overhead Door does a lot more than just residential doors.
Yes, we do. We're locally owned and operated, 23 years serving Newfoundland and Labrador right now. We do residential, commercial, industrial, sales, service, installation, 24-hour service, and we're here to help our customers and do a good job and keep everybody happy. Keep the doors going up and down.
It's a bright sunny day here in Torbay. Almost perfect weather to take care of another big task, our windows.
Good morning, window shop. May I help you? Good, how are you?
For this job, we wanted quality to come before everything else. So we called our local window supplier and put in our order. I liked everything about the window shop. Their staff and customer service are second to none. The product selection and quality is great, and they really make every effort to make sure you're happy at every step along the way.
Hi, I'm Todd Lovelace. I'm the general manager here at the window shop. When Mike approached me about built-in hell, we spoke about different window options and of course different product lines. And of course here at the window shop we have quite an array of product selection. But we chose the Coltec product for this project as it blended in with what Mike was looking for, and it also represents what most people in our market would want, which is a vinyl product. Right here we have our casement window line, which complements more modern day homes. We're starting to see more of this in Newfoundland now. And of course we have this casement window with the transom attached. And this is the product of choice for built-in L project this year because of the eye ceilings and the large rooms. So we tend to use a lot of these to bring the natural light through. We have a large selection of doors here at the window shop. We offer both our door systems in steel, in fiberglass, and many different types of frames. But this year, the trend seems to be colored doors. We're using a lot of paint. We're using wood stains. And these stains and paints really accent the doors because they bring out the natural grains. This door system here by Coltec is a pre-finished fiberglass door. It's a new shaker panel style door that lends itself to an older traditional style. Built-in L as a very similar product but in a modern design, complete with a transom and pre-finished black finish. All our door systems are available in any color or any stain. When Built-in L approached us for their window needs, we looked at many different types of window products, from vinyl windows to fiberglass windows, wood, aluminum window products, as we have all of these product offerings here at the window shop. We chose the vinyl line because of the options available to us with vinyl and the fact that vinyl meets a good price point that most people are comfortable with when they have a budget for a home.
My name is Robert Rose. I work for the window shop. I got a nice smile. First thing we do, we apply the rid skin to the outside of the window on the bottom on the sill, and we cut it so it folds in over, so it gets up for the shims and the window sit on. Next, we apply our continuous bead caulking on the top and the two sides, and down on the bottom corner in about 2 inches. Then we had to put a shim on each corner of the window, on the sill, and on any mullion where weight can be distributed. Then we install the window. And we usually start to level the window from the operator side. And just get the operator level and plumb first. Then we just plumb the fixed side of the sash. We put a nail every second hole. And then we check the operator. If the operator is working correctly, then we take another roll braid skin. We'll overlap the sides to the bottom so there's no negative lap, it's a positive lap. Same procedure on top. Yeah, that's about it.
Where the home is, it's a more modern home. We have transoms above the windows. The windows are what we would call oversized units as opposed to what you traditionally see in homes. And that lends itself to the large rooms in this home.
So while Mike was framing the house, I was left in charge of picking out the exterior finishes. So I got online and found a program called Home Play Prime. I sent them our plans, and a couple of days later I received a computer model of our home. With this program, I was able to design the home's exterior simply by dragging and clicking different colors and finishes. It helped me visualize just what our home would look like.
So now that Tanya has picked out some beautiful colors and our windows and doors are installed, we can start in on the next phase of our build, which is the siding. So the guys from Eastern Siding have showed up to help us get this place weather tight. Before we can install the actual siding, the house has to be covered with a protective wrap. This layer acts as a moisture barrier between the siding and the plywood sheeting underneath. All exterior walls will be covered with this from head to toe. Using the proper technical tape is important as well. This tape is specifically designed for use with house wrap. Once that's complete, a starter strip is put on to start our first course. Then we're off to the races. While the guys are finishing up the prep work, let's meet one of Royal Building Products' install specialists. In keeping with our trend of only installing the latest and greatest building materials here on the Built in NL site, we've reached out to Royal Building Products to explore their new cellular PVC siding. And here to help us with that install today is Mr. Brian Kern from sunny Calgary, Alberta. Thanks for coming out, buddy.
Nice to be here. Thanks for having me, Mike.
Brian, why don't you tell us a little bit about this product and why it's such a great piece of work?
It's fairly new to the marketplace, but it's the up-and-coming way to go. The seams are virtually invisible. Closest thing to cabinet joinery you're going to see in the exterior. Totally lightweight, 100% impervious to water. Very user-friendly. We'll spend a day or so here with you guys, and we'll show you all the tricks of the trade and get it on the wall for you.
Sounds like a plan.
This product is a little different than most siding. This is a PVC product. You have to realize that PVC is going to move with the weather in expansion and contraction. You have to allow three main things. Realize that it is PVC, it is going to move. 2, give it room to move. And 3, allow it to move.
After just a few minutes of installing this material, you'll really see just how durable it is. Not only that, it's completely seamless. Try doing this with another siding.
Because it's a warm day, it's only going to get small from here.
When a company sends an install specialist to ensure you and your contractors understand the products, it shows a great commitment to quality product and service. The expertise was apparent right away. The install was moving along at record pace and poised for success. And speaking of success, let's go meet the man who looked after all of our exterior cladding needs. He's the big honcho at the Consumer Award-winning Eastern Siding and Renovation, which also happens to be one of the 500 fastest growing companies in all of Canada. It's like I keep telling you, Nothing but the best for this build.
My name is Glenn Spurgeon. I'm the owner-operator of Eastern Siding and Window World. We're very proud of our state-of-the-art showroom, and we're consistently trying to keep it stocked with the newest, innovative products on the market. We deal with so many different manufacturers out there that we can give you any color. We have so many different qualities. We have wood siding, vinyl sidings, we have faux bricks, we have real brick. If you want a product and you can't find it, you come see us, we'll certainly help you get it. So we got another line of faux bricks right here. We got cedar shades, we got artificial brick. Again, any color you want to choose from, we got different colors on display, so you see what you get. Look over here if you want to see vinyl sidings. We got wood sidings, which you'll see right here. This is the Cape Cod siding, just all done in Cape Cod wood trims. Again, we got colors, but don't forget, you can have this any color you want, so you can sort of custom color this, right? This again is the select siding we spoke about earlier. Beautiful product, very innovative. It's got the seamless finish on it, so you can see that it just sort of locks together. Some beautiful colors. Nice trim board that go with it. This is going to be one of the hottest items on the market. Again, if you want to see it, pop in and have a look at it.
I think Glenn's right about this select siding being the next big thing. It's a really impressive product, not only for its ease of install, but the incredible look of it. It's really a next level product in the siding world. And to complete the seamless look of the siding, they also installed a 5.5-inch PVC trim, which just adds to the wow factor. The Select Siding joint system makes for a beautiful fit and finish. It eliminates having any visible nails or screws and secures the joint completely so that it always stays straight and true. The striking white trim really completes the look of this house, and we couldn't be more pleased with the way it all turned out.
I've been at this now for 20 years, and I do every house as if it was my own house.
I brought Craig Martin into the project because after viewing a few of his other projects, I could tell he was a guy that really cares about the quality of his work. The fit and finish is top notch, and this really matters when you want your property to look its best. A crooked downspout might not seem like a big deal, but it can have a very negative impact on the final look of the home.
Today we're going to be installing two different kind of soffits. This one here has got vented holes in it, yep. And it's made for so the eave of your house breathes. So you can have the airflow through the eave of your house. And the solid stuff here goes in your gable ends because there are only ladders nailed onto the eave and there's no air flows through. So we put up the fascia on the eave to keep the eave from rotting, and I have to measure it off to keep it all precision and keep it all straight. You want your joints and everything to be nice and tight, so it looks like one piece all the way along. Alright, we're snapping the line here to get a grade on the east trough. It needs to be approximately 1 inch on 40 feet. You need to get it to run over towards the downpipe. So here's the gutter coil here on the machine. It's approximately 600 feet in a row. And we run it through the back of the machine here, and as it's going through the machine, it hits different die rollers in the machine, and it forms different bends. Okay, as we feed it through the back of the machine, it comes through the machine here and it feeds through the die rollers and it forms the E-straff and makes a different bends, and when it come out here, then it's shaped as the piece of E-straff, and when it's up on your eave, it looks like just like a piece of crown molding. We're running the E-straff out of the machine here now, and it's 42 foot 7 inches, but we can do up to 72 feet in one run. This is gutter seal made for the back of the E-straff. We put about a 1/2 inch bead on it. Because the back of the E-straff got a little bevel on it, and once it goes to the fascia, it squats out and it seals. These are box miters for inside and outside joints. You gotta make sure that these go on nice and straight and level, because if you look back from the road, it'll look like they're falling off. Okay, we're cutting a hole here now to fasten the downspout onto the E-straff. $95. Before they used to drive a big spike through the downpipe, and if any leaves and everything got down, and it'd get cut around the nail and end up clogging up the downpipe. So now there's a new system with straps now wraps around the outside of the pipe, keeps the pipe opened up all the way down.
concept is to introduce the Spanish culture to Newfoundland. Basically, what it is to celebrate the ingredients and enjoy the actual ingredients what we cook here. That's the main thing. As people can see on the menu, we have very staple things from Spain, like pata negra and manchego, and so many other different ingredients that we couldn't have before.
As you enter Boca, eyes are drawn to a picture of a 19th century Spanish girl wearing a black dress with white lace collar, who's holding a container of food in front of a sunshine-colored tiled wall. Fronting the bar, there's what appears from a distance to be more Spanish tile, blue and gently lit from underneath the counter. Square and rectangular white subway tiles cover the wall to the right of the bar, a corner with an open, arched pass from the kitchen. Above the arch, the word tapas, all caps, is written in bright red tile. A floor-to-ceiling cabinet shares the corner. It's filled with Spanish wines. White anchovies, marinated in olive oil and served at Boca with chopped red onion and herbs. Unlike the tinned anchovies, they're milder tasting and less fishy, but have a similar texture. If you've never been keen on tinned anchovies, try these. Also try the tartare d'atun, or tuna tartare, with lime aioli on a piece of toasted baguette. It's of superb quality. Boca's Russian-style salad is made from fresh potatoes and vegetables, along with ham, pickles, and eggs. We enjoyed the homey cold salad with thin shavings of ham, pata negra, and pata negra lomo from the pig's loin, bread, mild peppers, and La Mancha's famous sheep's milk cheese, manchego, with mild bite and creamy finish. The aged, dark-colored pata negra is highly flavorful and leaves a slightly salty, rich, pleasant taste in the mouth. A glorious Basque seafood soup, ubiquitous Mediterranean fare, delivered vivid taste. Topped with a plump mussel, the red tomato stew contained shrimp, fresh whitefish, and herbs. Chunky fried potato, or patatas bravas, came golden with a tinge of red thanks to the application of smoked paprika and aioli dressing. With crisp exterior and tender, warm flesh, the patatas were fun to eat, especially with Boca's equally crisp, sometimes crunchy, paprika-dusted squid. What's better than ground beef mixed with Iberico ham, rolled into balls, then fried and steeped in tomato sauce? Not a lot. Boca's Spanish meatballs were the best meatballs I've had in years, juicy and full of taste. Madrid-style lamb stew with boned lamb, red pepper, tomato, smoky paprika, garlic, and splash of wine had punchy, deep flavor, helped along by the subtle gaminess of the lamb. One small bowl can provide enough energy to keep you going for hours. Dairy-free Tarta de Santiago features ground almonds, eggs, and a little sugar. Served with a side quenelle of fresh cream infused with amaretto, the moist cake, redolent of almonds, and only mildly sweet, went beautifully with a rich double espresso. Boca Tapas Bar, Cliff Spaird's Cove, St. John's, receives an excellent rating of 3 stars out of 4. Tapas for 2 with wine, tax, and tip costs approximately $65. For information, call 709-237-2622.
The following program is brought to you by Rogers Anyplace TV. Enjoy exclusive content for free. Visit RogersAnyplaceTV.com.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
Hey everyone, it is Jason Piercy, host of Out of the Fog on Tuesday nights at 7:30. You're definitely going to want to watch because you never know what I'm going to get into. It's all about community. It's all about you. So watch Tuesday, 7:30.
Living through this COVID-19 pandemic is a new and scary experience for all of us. Being scared is okay because it helps to remind us that we need to follow the rules that will protect us, our families, and others. Because so many of us are worried right now, it's more important than ever to be kind to one another. Kindness will help, and we will get through this together.